Well, ladies and gentlemen, today we are doing our conjunction video of the week. And finally, we're stepping into the conjunction of Sun, Moon, Saturn, Jupiter. And what happened when these four planets are conjunct in your horoscope. And as always, if you do not know where your Sun is placed, where your Moon is placed, where your Saturn is placed, if you have this conjunction, all your other planetary placement, all your planetary details, for that check out the links here and check out my full astrological report, including my books, Astrology, Conjunction, Aspects, Mahadasha, at the Speed of Light, including all my consultations and reading at this link. See, I have so many books I've written, I'm like, is it Astrology, Conjunction, Aspects, Mahadasha, there, and then there's going to be this and this. I'm not going to be saying that. After my next book, I'm just going to be saying, look, man, small astrology books are here. So, Sun, Moon, Saturn, and Jupiter conjunction. Well, you know, this is probably the most rarest of conjunction that I've run into. I've run into 3 out of these 4. I've run into Saturn, Moons, and Sun conjunction. I've run into Saturn, Jupiter, Sun conjunction. I've never run into all 4 of them together. And also what happens with this conjunction, especially if the Moon is waxing or waning, may have a different implication and different effect on the mindset. So first of all, Sun is what? Sun is your father, authorities, government, reputation, fame. It's a significator of your profession, career. Then you have Moon. Moon is the mother, emotions, happiness, comforts. It's your mental projection. It's your mental reception for the world. Jupiter is your divine knowledge. Gurus, teachers, counselor, advisors, preacher, priests, religion, spirituality. Saturn is structure, discipline, structure, organization, sacrifices, duty, commitment. Saturn is what is real. So with this conjunction, it shows me that first of all, your father wasn't your mother's choice. It was something that she was forced upon, or something she was just simply was as a duty she did. Marry your father. And the relationship between your mother and father is very dry, very just like a relationship between a court reporter and a judge sitting on the bench. It's very, based on reality, based on just principles and following certain rules and procedures. And at the same time, shows especially your relationship with your parents is not going to be good, or if it's good, the principles and knowledge that you may have attained from them, it's kind of like either non-existence or it wasn't the right knowledge you attained. And this is why it becomes a very sensitive conjunction. This is a very, very unique conjunction for me. Because especially if the Moon is waxing, Moon will be able to withstand and understand certain laws and principles. If Moon is waning, if Moon is now coming into the degrees of the Sun, then you will have a mind which is just like, does have no moral values, no structure, discipline, or organization skills. Somebody who just becomes very lazy, lethargic. But a waxing Moon can actually make a person find great interest in law, interest in government affairs. Somebody who becomes a very strict, principled person. And usually this is the last person you might find in a entertainment industry, artistic industry. However, if this person goes into any kind of a research-based field of service, civil service, biology, biomedical science, excellent. They will do excellent in that, because these people need to always have structure. They always need structure to work with. They always need certain procedure to work with. Like for this person, they can make a great astrologer, but for them astrology is gonna be all about a mathematical principle. It won't be anything beyond that. Like astrology is far beyond than just knowing that this calculation and this happens with Ashtavarga. These are this many points your planet is receiving, so this is what the results are going to be. Sometimes it's not that. You will fail if you just go all on mathematics. Sometimes the intuition, the ambience, the omen plays a part. But most of the time, astrology is like a combination of all these things. So this is the person who's very just principled. Like they need to have a structure, principle, and they're quite black and white in their opinions. They're quite black and white in their thought process that this is how the world is, and that's it. So if they feel like let's say somebody who may have this here in the United States, in the Midwest, they'll be like, you know what? We only should have less than 1% immigrants. All of them should be just Caucasian, white, European people. And that is my stand. And I can back it up with my things that I have learned in my life. And I'm not really open to anybody else's opinion. Because remember, Saturn is a planet that is, becomes very opinionated, very critical, orthodox, conservative. And it represents the movement of the masses. It represents the people who are the working class. So most of the time, they're surrounded by this working class, this masses who thinks a certain way. The principles and the knowledge of Jupiter is kind of being burned and being frozen by Saturn and Sun. So as much as I would say like, hey, this is a great conjunction. See, whenever Moon comes in, especially with Sun, and especially when it's with planets of principles, like Saturn and Jupiter, it's a very sensitive conjunction where either there's going to be very strict principle being followed or no principle being followed at all. So if you have this conjunction, I would really, really like to know, who are you as a person? What do you think like? What is your personality? How have you dealt with this? Because this is the most rarest conjunction I've ever run into. I think I even mentioned this in my Conjunction at the Speed of Light book. One of the versions I know I mentioned it. So, but it'll be interesting to see how, if somebody does have this conjunction, what's going on with you, man? Let's find out. Okay. And also, as far as like career is concerned, usually they will pick careers which are related to either administrative services, government, law, biomechanical, biomedical studies, or they'll do very well in fields of even finance. So these are most of the time, these are the career that I've seen them pick. Okay. So guys, this was my analysis of Sun, Moon, Saturn, Jupiter conjunction. If you're new to my channel, subscribe below. Again, if you want to know where your conjunction plays, all my books, reports, consultation, for that, check out the links here. Otherwise, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.